you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me one quick favor, see that little black subscribe button on the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, hit that little black subscribe button. Really does help this channel grow, my audience grow, and I appreciate it more than you know. Thank you again. Now, here's the video that you came here for. I want to circle back to just that wild game on Saturday night, Colorado State and Colorado. Obviously, on Monday's Aaron Torres pod, we talked a lot about the game. Yes, Jay Norvell should have gone for it on fourth down, didn't, gave the ball back to Shedeur Sanders. We'll get back to that in a minute, but let me just start by saying this. I continue to be amazed by how big this Colorado story has become. And to be clear, I am a guy that followed Coach Prime at Jackson State. I watched all the documentaries, first the one that Barstool Sports did in his first season, then the Amazon Prime stuff. I followed his recruiting. I followed him at Colorado. I followed him in the offseason. I said, this guy's going to work. He's going to win big, win right away. But even I could have imagined just how big this whole thing has become. It was wild to me on Saturday night. People who don't even care about college football were tuned into that game, watching Colorado, watching Coach Prime, watching Shedeur, watching the Buffaloes. I was working out Monday morning, undisputed. Skip Bayless, Michael Irvin, Keyshawn Johnson, Richard Sherman, coming off of an NFL Sunday. They led the show with the Colorado Buffaloes. I cannot believe it. It is unbelievable to me, but it just speaks to the impact that this team is having. But I think what's clear at this point, and we talked about it a little bit on Monday's show, if it was just a good story, if it was just famous former football player, coach's college team, we'd be done by now. But what I think people are learning is that this is a really good team. Coach Prime is a great coach, as I've said since the beginning. And this is a great football watch. Obviously, everything on Saturday night culminated with that incredible 2-minute drive by Shedeur Sanders. Again, I know I just said it. Jay Norvell, yeah, buddy, you shouldn't have punted the ball back to Shedeur. The second he got the ball back, I think everybody felt like this guy's going the length of the field. They're tying the game. They're going to overtime, and they're winning in overtime, which is exactly what happened. I bring it up, though, to say this, is that I thought what was just as cool about the drive itself was what happened after the game. Did you see what Shedeur Sanders said following the game about the drive? His exact quote, and I love this. He goes, all I was thinking is Brady mode. That's it. Simple. Brady mode. That's it. They left too much time out there for me. Well, did you see what also happened after the game when that quote went viral? Just about the coolest thing that any quarterback could ever receive. Tom Brady, the GOAT, TB12, who, by the way, has been a mentor to Shedeur. He's very close with Coach Prime. That is Tom Brady, of course. Tom Brady, after the game, after he saw the quote on social media, posted this in response. Remember, Shedeur said, all I was thinking is Brady mode. That's it. Simple. Brady mode. That's it. They left too much time out there. Well, here's what Tom Brady posted on social media. I just want to go Shedeur mode at some point in my life. Great win. I mean, come on. How can you not love this story? How can you not love the Colorado Buffaloes? Now, look, we've talked about, I guess Coach Prime is polarizing. I don't really understand why. Like, he's doing it the right way. He's about the kids. He's winning. He's developing. He's this, he's that. He's a father figure. I don't really get it. But to hear, literally, even if you don't like Coach Prime, I don't know how you can't be impressed by Shedeur Sanders, and I don't know how you can't be thrilled for a kid to hear from the greatest quarterback of all time, yeah, I want to be like you when I grow up, kid. I think that's so awesome. And again, it speaks to a couple things. One, it speaks to Shedeur was awesome again on Saturday and as good as we thought he was going to be. And I was one. I never quite like I thought the dumbest narrative all off season was, well, why did he get the starting job? All you had to do was go watch Jackson State. All you had to do was pay attention. All you had to do was know 70% completion percentage, 40 touchdowns a season to go at Jackson State. I don't care where you're playing. Those are unbelievable stats. But I will say again, as big as I thought Shedeur Sanders was going to be, and as good as I thought he was going to be, this guy is somehow even better. You understand that coming out of the first 3 weeks of the college football season, we're a quarter of the way through now. Shedeur Sanders is second in the country in total passing. Only Michael Penix has more passing yards, and Michael Penix is on just an absurd pace, and they actually throw the ball even more than Shedeur Sanders does, or more than Colorado does. On top of that, on top of being the second leading passer in all of college football, 10 touchdown passes, that's fourth in college football. Those numbers are a little skewed. Sam Hartman, my preseason Heisman Trophy winner, has 13. He's also played in 4 games. Shedeur's only played in 3. How about this? A 78.7% completion percentage that is currently 4th in college football. And it is worth noting the only guys that are higher than him, Dylan Gabriel has not played a Power 5 team. J.J. McCarthy has not played a Power 5 team. Jacob Zeno at UAB up until this weekend. UAB obviously plays Georgia, but UAB has not played a Power 5 team. And oh, by the way, Jacob Zeno as UAB's quarterback is 1-2 as a starter. Not here to criticize the kid, just here to say no one has played the competition that Colorado is at. So he's looked good. He's looked the part. He's been awesome. And he's just so much better than I think even the most real. I was a guy that believed in him. And I can't believe how good he is, how fun he is to watch. And here's the other thing. And I think this is important. It's not only that he was clutch on Saturday, it's that he's been clutch all season long. And he's a guy that has just been, again, it's not just that he's clutch, it's that he's doing it and his team needs it, right? Again, it's one thing if you're putting up stats against nobody. It's one thing if you're putting up stats and you're losing games. But what stands out to me with Shedeur, he's doing it in big games, 2 Power 5 opponents, and let's be blunt, his team needs him to put up all of these stats. Remember, they gave up 42 points to TCU in week 1. They gave up 28 in regulation to Colorado State, obviously 35 total. So it's not as though he's playing quarterback, and this is no disrespect, but it's just a fact, at Ohio State, at Michigan, at Alabama. Alabama's not the best example this year, at Georgia, where you can have a bad game, a bad half, and your team is fine. Oh, by the way, you're just throwing to superior talent at every position. Now, Shedeur has great wide receivers, but the offensive line has not been great through a couple games. And so that's what stands out. He's not only putting up insane stats, he's doing it because his team needs him. They're struggling to run the football right now. The offensive line hasn't been great. He's been getting beat up, and he continues to step up in the moment again and again and again and again. And I know this show, my show, is primarily a college football show, but it again speaks to something I talked about on Monday's show. We'll talk about the NFL draft when it's time to talk NFL draft. And I don't love during the season overanalyzing stuff from an NFL draft perspective. Let guys be awesome college football players. Let them enjoy the moment. But what I will say, Shedeur Sanders, again, last week, Mel Kiper put him in the top 5 of his mock draft. And what stands out to me is what I said on Monday's show. It's the idea that, again, it's not just that he puts up stats. Meaningful stats, important moments, went Brady mode on Saturday. And oh, by the way, doing it behind a makeshift offensive line, he's getting beat up. And I think that speaks as much to anything to me about what kind of pro he can be. It's easy, again, to be an Ohio State quarterback when you have the best wide receivers, when you have the best offensive line, when your defense is going to bail you out even if you stink. Think it's interesting. And I don't mean to pick on Ohio State here. I feel bad. I do. You know those 3 Ohio State starters currently in the NFL, Justin Fields, CJ Stroud, and I guess you would include Joe Burrow in that mix? 0-6 right now to start the season. Now, even if you want to take out Joe Burrow, Fields and Stroud, 0-4. I understand Stroud's on a bad team, Fields, whatever. But the bottom line is it's easier when you're at Ohio State. It's easier when you're at Alabama. It's easier when you're at Michigan. By the way, 5 years from now, when Coach Prime has a couple of recruiting classes under his belt, it might even be easy at Colorado. But it isn't right now, and it just speaks to everything I've been saying. I give Shedeur so much credit. He has been such a fun watch, and I cannot wait to see him continue to develop. But boy, oh boy, oh boy, you talk about an incredible moment in time. You say, I went Brady mode after that game. Brady says, no. Someday, kid, I know I'm 45, but someday I want to go Shedeur mode. Unbelievable. This is just an incredible story, and I can't wait to keep following it.